Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, Mahabharata458. As you may remember, the soldiers had fought all night long. Just when the moon rose, there was a discussion between Duryodhana and Drona. As usual, Duryodhana began to accuse Drona of being partial to the Pandavas. He said, "You are our commander. You have so many astras that can help you win easily. Still, there's so much ruin caused in our ranks today because of the Pandavas and Arjuna in particular. There is no one who can equal you in archery, not the Pandavas nor anyone else from the heavens. Still, it is our special misfortune that your honored self is more fond of the Pandavas. You're fighting softly with your dear Arjuna. You're siding with him all the time." As he sat there listening to the harsh words of Duryodhana, Drona thought of his position. His entire life came to his mind's eye. He thought of his boyhood and his friendship with Drupada. He thought of his Ashwatthama and his desire to taste milk. Drona came to Panchala with the hope of living happily in the court of Drupada. That desire was very foolish. It was then that he first became acquainted with the arrogance and selfishness of kings. He should have been sensible then. He should have gone back to the forest, to the good, peaceful atmosphere, where goodness was contagious. But he had taken the wrong turning when he was at the crossroad. He allowed anger to enter his heart, anger against Drupada, and a desire to teach him a lesson and kill his arrogance. That made him go to Hastinapura. Bhishma had given him a clue as to how the future of the Kauravas would shape itself. When Drona told him about the humiliation he had experienced in the court of Drupada, and added that he had come to Hastinapura to find a way of taking revenge on the haughty king, Bhishma, the wise old man, had smiled and said, "You've come to the proper place. I have hundreds of grandchildren who are eager to learn archery." Bhishma's voice had been full of pain and sarcasm when he said that. Drona had thought that he had done a wise thing in coming to Hastinapura. It was the most foolish act of his. Life in Hastinapura made him lose all the gentleness and sweetness that should have been part of him. Instead, he became a man with an obsession, the desire to punish a man who had been proud enough to insult him, the great Drona. He realized now he was just as proud and arrogant as Drupada was. In his desire for revenge, he had committed moral suicide. He had become just a paid servant at the court of Hastinapura. Arjuna punished Drupada for the sake of his guru, but Drona had lost the power to enjoy it. His anger was gone. It was just the principle of it. As soon as he saw Drupada, he said, "I just wanted to teach you a lesson. Let us now be friends." He thought that these few words were enough to wipe out a decade of hatred. But he had forgotten that others were also capable of hatred. Drupada had prayed for a son who could kill Drona. Drona had seen the increasing hatred between the Pandava boys and the sons of the king, Dhritarashtra. He should have been more careful. He was watching it, and he did nothing about it. When the education of the princes was over and his revenge had been taken, he should have left Hastinapura and gone back to the forest. He should have shed this cloak of worldliness and emerged out of it. He did not do it. He saw the tragedy that was taking shape. Sadguru Nath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.